Hey all, Kate here from the Emerald Minecart, and you're probably scratching your head confused. Kate, what is a SparkleDog? Well, as the official WikiFur, aka one of the many furry Wikipedias out there, says, which this is also the first thing that popped up when I looked up SparkleDog. A SparkleDog, also known as a Sparkle, is a term for a sentient character, in this case a fursona, with unusual hairstyles and fur colors or patterns, including rainbows. The term SparkleDog may also be applied to other non-canine species. Kinda defeats the whole dog part of the name, but, you know, doesn't matter. But, yeah, and obviously, these were very popular in the mid to late 2000s, and eventually died down, but just like most things from the past, it came back. And sure, you don't really see them as much as you did in the mid to late 2000s, but occasionally you will come across a normally medium-sized group of people who have some SparkleDog OCs. And honestly, the main reason I like the SparkleDogs is because I love how they just radiate the fact that, oh yeah, they were made in the mid to late 2000s. Because again, as someone who was born in 2005 and could only experience 2007 through 2009, I sadly didn't really get to experience mid-2000s. But hey, at least I was able to experience the great music that came out of the late 2000s. Like, seriously, the late 2000s and early to mid-2010s was complete peak for music. And then after that, it just went downhill, but, you know, good music still comes out, but most of the time it's shit. But, yeah, that's a topic for another video, nudge nudge wink wink. But, yeah, so, sadly, I didn't really get to experience that much of the mid-2000s, but I did get to experience a little bit of the late 2000s, and good music as well. So, yeah, so SparkleDogs were quite common in the mid to late 2000s, and again, it's just one of those creations that, like, you look at it and you can tell, yeah, this came from the mid to late 2000s. But the thing is, not everyone liked them. Not everyone was a big fan of SparkleDogs, and sometimes, to show how much they hate SparkleDogs, they would have these stamps. Now, do note, I got these from Pukaru's video because I could not find these things anywhere else. So yeah, most of these are tame, if not some of them being accurate, while others are... yeah, others are that. And note, this is all over a unusually colored fursona that sometimes has anime hair. People are getting upset over this. But then again, people have gotten upset over more stupider things. But, yeah, and actually there was also one point where SparkleDog was seen as, like, a insult for, like, characters who have, or for people who have, like, again, characters that have unusual colors, even if they aren't SparkleDogs. So, yeah, as you can tell, even back then, people hating on things they shouldn't was a thing. So yeah, and eventually the hate died down because most people realized, actually, now that I think about it, hating on a unusually colored fursona is stupid. And eventually, like I mentioned earlier, SparkleDogs eventually faded out, but, you know, just like most things from the past, it came back. And honestly, I'm glad. I really do like it when someone has a SparkleDog OC. I love it. I love seeing them. They're awesome, especially since, you know, nature has a good amount of animals that could also fit in the SparkleDog category, specifically with the colors and patterns. Like, I'm just saying, like, seriously, like, just look any day, especially butterflies. Butterflies especially. Now, you're probably curious, but what happened to the people who, like, hated the SparkleDogs? Well, one of two things happened. Thing one, which is the most common answer, I'm so glad it is. Most people just moved on because they realized, you know what, it's like they realized, hating on this is stupid, I'm going to move on. Or other people realize, it may not be for me, but yeah, I'm just going to move on and take off this stupid stamp. While the other percentage that still kept that burning hatred, they would all gather together and go into a deep sleep that would end on 2016. They would awaken on 2016 and form the thing called cringe culture. Cringe culture was basically full of people who bullied and made fun of people who liked things that weren't seen as relevant or trendy. This would last until somewhere around mid to late 2018, where people started to realize that people can like things and that people who are part of cringe culture are complete babies and cringe themselves. So yeah, that was a little history lesson on cringe culture. I hope you all like it. So yeah, SparkleDogs. I really do like SparkleDogs because of how they just radiate the mid to late 2000s. I love it because, you know, I'm obsessed with the mid to late 2000s. So yeah, and there are actually 3 reasons I made this video. Reason 1 being that Pride Month was coming up, and, you know, it's currently the first day of Pride Month, which, you know, happy Pride Month, everyone. And if you're celebrating, I hope you can celebrate and you're having fun, and most importantly, stay safe. Especially if you live in a red state, you definitely want to stay really safe if you want to live in a red state. But yeah, besides that, I hope you all are having a great Pride Month. Okay, so the second reason is this SparkleDog sticker that I got off of Etsy. I'd love to plug the store in the description, but sadly the store is on a break at the moment. But hey, you know, I did put the link in my short, or the description of my short, which, you know, plug. And then finally, I also wanted to make this video to debut my SparkleDog OC. This one being Die Ryan Maximus. Now you're probably thinking, Kate, why did you give a SparkleDog such a badass name? Well, 1, because I can, because it's my character, and also, this guy is for a project. This project being called Die Maximus. Not D-I-E, it's D-Y. So yeah, Die Maximus is a combination of SparkleDogs and Transformers. And obviously it's not just Die Ryan Maximus that I have planned, I also have Die Giselle Maximus. And as you can see, he is a trans femboy cat DJ robot. Quite an interesting combination. But also, actually yeah, before I explain that, but also, like I mentioned, they can transform, and sure, the vehicle modes are either decent or possibly still in work in progress, but you know, yeah, besides that, yeah, I can't wait to work more on this series. But now to explain it even more. Okay, so basically, prepare to have a bunch of T-Stream Productions lore be shoved into your brain. But okay, so basically, in the T-Stream Productions multiverse, there are 2 universes. A universe that is for my music, and a universe that is for my future clothing brand, Shit Post. Now, pretty much all of the universes in the T-Stream Productions multiverse happen to be connected in some way, shape, or form. And these 2 universes, the ones being for my music and Shit Post, they happen to be heavily connected. And one of the universes that both of them are also connected to is the Die Maximus universe. So basically, that basically means that both in my music and my upcoming clothing brand, there's a chance that you'll see the Die Maximuses in either my music or my merch. So yeah, that's epic, I know. So, yeah, you're probably thinking, then what will the good guys and bad guys be called? Well, the good guys are Dio build or are called Dio builds, while the bad guys are called Dio destructs. So yeah, heavy inspiration from Transformers. So yeah, they also have these cores on their chest instead of having a symbol. If it's blue, then they are a Dio build, but if it's red, then they are a Dio destruct. So yeah, and obviously I plan on adding a lot more, and you know, I'm really excited to see how the project will go. And hey, maybe even one day, physical toys. It's a possibility. It's obviously not going to happen now, but hey, it's a possibility. Maybe I could work with like Hasbro or something. Maybe they'd be interested. That'd be funny if they would be interested. But yeah, and also another part of the vehicle mode is they have a Vapor Rider. This is basically a holographic Spartoon, which is from the Ship X Post universe. But yeah, this is basically a holographic character who like looks convincing enough, but if you looked closely, you could tell that, oh yeah, that's a hologram. But yeah, so all these, like, all Die Maximuses have these, except Die Ryan Maximus. He doesn't have one, also because he looks after a small child. So yeah. So yeah, that's right. Move out of the way, Glamrock Freddy. Die Ryan Maximus is taking your place. Oh man. So yeah, that's another project, and honestly, if I had $10 for every time I announced a project that would either take a while to make or would be made in the future, honestly, I'd probably have a good amount of money. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to say that as a bad thing. I'm just being self-aware because I happen to make a lot of projects, with most of them being stuff that I can't do yet. But you know, there are some that sure will take time, but I can make them. So yeah, anyways, that was it for this video. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye!